Angela Craig texted her husband from the hospital. She said, "I feel drugged." He texted back, "Just for the record, I didn't drug you." He had, in fact, drugged her. Multiple times. With cyanide, and eye drops, and arsenic, because he was a dentist, and apparently thought that made him qualified. Welcome to True Crime After Bedtime, where we swap the sippy cups for something a little stronger, and the stories get a lot darker. March 2023. Aurora, Colorado. I want to start by telling you who Angela Craig was, because in cases like this, it's easy to get lost in the monster and forget about the person. Angela was 43. She was the youngest of 10 siblings, which, as a mom, I just need to pause on this for a second. 10 kids? Her parents had 10 children? Couldn't be me. Anyway, she was deeply rooted in her faith, active in her Church of Jesus Christ of the Latter-day Saints, and she had taken over as family genealogist, which, in the LDS Church, is a significant, meaningful role. Her brother described her as happy and positive her entire life. Her friends said that she was organized and dependable, the kind of person that you could count on. She and James had 6 kids together. 6! And by all outside appearances, they were the busy, chaotic, full family that people look at and think, they have a good life. They did not have a good life. Angela just didn't know the full extent of it yet. Now, let's talk about James Craig. James was a dentist, well respected in Aurora. He ran Summerbrook Dental Group, was active in the same church, coached Little League, the whole thing. But underneath that, for most of their 23 years of marriage, he had been cheating. Chronically, compulsively, getting caught and apologizing, and then doing it all over again. In 2018, 5 years before Angela dies, James is caught in an affair. He apparently decides that the solution to this is to drug his wife so that she can't stop him from killing himself. Let's sit with that for a moment. He drugged her so that she couldn't interfere with his suicide attempt. A friend testified that James had told her and her husband about this openly at dinner, describing it as a struggle with sexual addiction. Angela stayed. She said that she wanted to help him work through it. By late 2022, Angela finds something on James' computer, something that makes it, in Angela's sister's words, impossible for her to stay. She texts him, "Don't come home, I don't want you here." He texts her back, "I am not having an affair. I do not have secret bank accounts. I'm sorry I suggested we get a divorce. I don't think we'd be better off divorced. I really do want you and us." 4 days later, he texts her, "I love being married to you." He was, at this exact same time, on a dating website called Seeking.com, actively pursuing at least 3 women simultaneously, one of whom he bought a car for. He was sending money through Venmo. He met a dentist from Texas called Karen Kane at a dental conference in Las Vegas in February of 2023, 1 month before Angela dies, and immediately began an affair with her too. In January 2023, he texted Karen, "I'm not happy, but I can't get divorced right now." Can't. Not won't. Can't. Here's why he can't. The dental practice was struggling financially. And in the LDS community, divorce carries significant social weight. James Craig had built an entire identity. Respected dentist, family man, church member, father of 6, and a divorce would not look good. So he made a calculation. And the calculation was, it's easier to kill her. On February 27, 2023, from a computer in exam room 9 at his dental office, he starts searching. And I'm going to read to you the actual search history because I think it's important for you to hear it out loud. Quote, "Is there such a thing as an undetectable poison? How to make poison from oleander? Is arsenic detectable? How many grams of pure arsenic will kill a human? How to make murder look like a heart attack?" Unquote. That's one afternoon. One Tuesday afternoon in between appointments in his dental office. He also, and this is so stupid that it almost loops back around to being impressive, he also watched YouTube videos titled Top 5 Undetectable Poisons That Show No Signs of Foul Play on the work computer in the exam room that is registered to the dental practice. On February 27th, he orders arsenic on Amazon. It's delivered to his house on March 4th. Angela gets home from a family trip to Utah on March 5th. On March 6th, He makes her a protein shake. Angela drinks the protein shake. She texts James, "My stomach feels fine, but my head feels funny and dizzy. Very strange." She goes to the hospital. Nothing shows up in the blood work. She goes home. That same day, James texts Karen Kane, "Just for the record, I will never drug you. I cannot." March 7th. Angela still feels sick. She goes to urgent care. She gets sent home. March 8th. James orders potassium cyanide from a lab supplier called Midland Scientific. In the order, he tells them he's a surgeon who needs it for cranial reconstruction research he's publishing in a medical journal. He's a dentist. That evening, he goes to a King Soopers at 10:50 p.m. and buys 12 bottles of Visine eye drops. Because tetrahydrozoline, the active ingredient in the eye drops, is also toxic when ingested in high enough doses. He apparently learned this from the YouTube videos. March 9th, Angela drinks another shake. She ends up in the hospital again, this time for 5 days. While she's hospitalized, Karen Kane flies in from Texas to visit James. Angela texts him from her hospital bed saying, "I feel drugged." He texts her back, "Just for the record, I didn't drug you." March 13th, the potassium cyanide arrives to the office, addressed to Jim Craig Personal, with biohazard stickers on the box. He had told a staff member specifically not to open it. Someone opens it. She sees the words potassium cyanide, Googles what it is, puts it back in the box, and puts it on his desk. She doesn't immediately report it, but she doesn't forget about it either. Angela is discharged from the hospital. At some point during this stay, she apparently tells James directly that she thinks he's poisoning her. He denies it. March 15th. Angela is at home with her brother Mark, who has come to help out because of her mysterious ongoing illness. James gives Mark a capsule, an antibiotic, he says, for her sinus infection, and asks him to give it to Angela. Then James leaves. Mark gives the capsule to Angela. She bends over immediately, can't hold herself up. Mark and his wife rush her to the hospital. What Mark didn't know, what nobody knew at this point, was that James had emptied the antibiotic capsule and refilled it with cyanide. At the hospital, a colleague of James alerts the nursing staff about the potassium cyanide package at the office. There would be no medical reason, he tells them, for a dentist to have potassium cyanide. The nurse contacts law enforcement. James shows up at the hospital. A security camera captures him entering Angela's room holding a syringe. Angela Craig never regains consciousness. She is declared brain dead on March 18th. Toxicology shows she had nearly twice the lethal limit of cyanide in her system, plus tetrahydrozoline, plus arsenic. On March 19th, just hours after she is taken off of life support, James Craig is arrested. And this is where James Craig, having already committed murder, decides to become even more of a case study. From jail, he writes a timeline document on his phone at 1 a.m., the night Angela is declared brain dead, in which he claims Angela asked him to poison her, that she wanted to die, that he was just a reluctant participant in her suicide. He also claims that she asked him to put arsenic in her protein shake so that she wouldn't taste it, and that she chugged it down. He then tries to recruit a fellow inmate to kill the lead detective on the case, offering $20,000 to kill Detective Bobby Olson. He also offers money for people to commit perjury at his trial, fabricating testimony that Angela wanted to frame him. He asks another inmate's ex-wife to find 4 people willing to falsely testify. And then, get this, he asks his own daughter to create a deep fake video of her dead mother, saying she wanted to be poisoned. His daughter testified against him at trial. 3 of his children sat on the prosecutioner's side of the courtroom. So the defense's strategy was essentially that Angela was so broken by years of infidelity that she wanted to die. Her own decision. His attorney repeatedly described Angela as broken, said that Craig's cheating had been a motive for Angela to take her own life. Angela's family, including her daughters, sat in that courtroom and listened to that argument. The prosecution put 48 witnesses on the stand over 2 weeks. James Craig did not testify. His defense called no witnesses. On July 30th, 2025, the jury convicted James Craig of first-degree murder. The judge sentenced him immediately, life without the possibility of parole, plus 33 consecutive years. Judge Shea Whitaker said from the bench, Dr. Craig unleashed a path of destruction as wide as a tornado and just as devastating. Damage to his children, damage to Angela's family, damage to his own family. Angela's sister Toni looked at him and said, her life was not yours to take. He didn't address the court. He didn't say a word. What gets me, what I keep coming back to, is Angela's brother Mark. He handed Angela that capsule. James Craig gave it to him knowing exactly what was in it. Then he left the house. He used her own family to deliver the final dose. And I cannot imagine how Mark must feel about that. And the protein shakes. They made them for each other. That was their thing. He'd make hers, she'd make his. He took something that was ordinary and domestic and safe, something that was just part of their morning routine, and turned it into the weapon. That detail is so specific and so cruel. Also, Angela knew something was wrong. She told him she felt drugged. She told her sister she thought he was poisoning her. She searched for an emergency room on her phone on the day she was declared brain dead. She was trying to survive, right up until she couldn't anymore. That's it for tonight's True Crime After Bedtime. Stay safe out there, and maybe skip the protein shake tomorrow morning.